Can you hear me, Jim?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
How about now? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you both.
Thank you, Brett. I appreciate you chiming in. It's what a good attorney does.
I object.
We can hear you too. All right. Mr. Buston, we ready to go?
Yes, sir. I believe we are.
All right, it's 6:55. We'll open tonight's Committee of the Whole for our first meeting of 2021, and I'll call to order our meeting tonight. The council should have the minutes from our previous meeting on December the 15th, 2020. Any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, and the minutes carry forth. Board of
Aye.
Zoning Adjustment. Ms. Whitten.
Yes, sir. We have 2 vacancies, and we have 2 incumbents who've served those terms. And so for the first one, which is occupied currently by Paul West, I would like to nominate Emmy Sorrells.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on Ms. Sorrells? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And that motion carries. We'll appoint her later on the agenda.
All right, for the second vacancy that is currently held by Drew Goodner, I would like to ask the council to consider a reappointment of Drew Goodner.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
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 Okay, let's do a roll call vote on that. Lindsay, please.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
No.
Griswold,
No.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
No.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor.
Yes. I mean, no, I'm sorry.
No, okay. Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes. Lindsay?
5 yes, 4 no.
Okay, thank you. We'll confirm that for Mr. Goodner later on in the agenda. Questions on the agenda for the city manager? Okay, is there a move to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
So move.
All right, we will get started right at 7 o'clock. That's about 3 minutes from now.
Philip, you may want to mute your phone.
Am I on?
You're on, but you may want to mute your phone.
How do you mute the sound?
You
Uh,
mute from your iPhone directly, Philip, on the screen. Or is it *9?
And I don't want to speak.
Okay, you got your hand up. Hit *9 again. We'll take that down. We'll get you fixed in a minute.
Okay, we about ready to start our meeting, group? I'll call tonight's Auburn City Council meeting to order for January the 5th, 2021. Lindsay, with the roll call, please.
Dawson,
Here.
Dixon,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Hovey,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would y'all please join in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll follow that up with a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As we begin tonight with the mayor's communications, I want to thank again all the people who helped host the governor before Christmas as she came to celebrate a new opening of the new distribution center for SiO2. That was a great day for Auburn, and we've talked a lot about SiO2 and the role that they're playing in our world, and it was wonderful to have Mr. Abrams in town, to have Katie Britt from the Business Council of Alabama, and certainly to have the governor here to spend some time in our community, a very proud moment for Auburn. Certainly talking about where we are right now with COVID and what's going on in our hospital, considering the situation that I'm currently in, is very personal. I would just say to our community that this is real. Those beds are filling up at East Alabama Medical Center, and these are going to be a crucial month to 2 months that we're about to live in. It's very important for all of us to do everything we can, starting right now, to be as careful as possible and to live as respectfully as possible so that we don't infect others that we care about and that are around us, and that we do the right thing each and every day. So please be mindful of this very delicate world that we're living in right now, and that delicacy is certainly alive and well in Auburn. And I just appreciate everybody's consideration. At this point in time, we're proud to recognize our employees of the month through the video like we have done recently. And so, Greg, would you please play the video? We're proud today to introduce you to our January 2021 Employee of the Month and all of our other employees who have done a great job in their service recognitions. We're proud today to introduce you to our January 2021 Auburn City Employee of the Month. I have a memo here today from Houston Manning, the Athletic Programs Administrator for Auburn Parks and Rec, through Becky Richardson, the Parks and Rec Director, that was sent to Megan McGowan Crouch and Jim Buston, our City Manager. Mr. Jeff Lee has been employed with the Parks and Rec Department as a League Sports Coordinator since December of 2011. Jeff is in charge of leagues for girls softball, baseball, t-ball, and basketball. He has handled his job with professionalism and with commitment to giving the children in these leagues the best possible experience they can have. Recently, Jeff has stepped in to assist with the management of the Sanford swimming pool during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2018, Jeff received his Master's in Sports and Fitness Management from Troy University. In October, Jeff completed the certification to become a Certified Park and Recreation Professional. The Certified Park and Recreation Professional certification is the national standard for all parks and recreation professionals who want to be at the forefront of their profession. Last year, Jeff implemented the Letters to Santa mailbox program. Jeff makes sure that all the letters get to Santa and ensures that Santa's response
responses are returned to all the children that write in. In this second year of the program, the number of letters definitely appears to have increased. With a pleasant attitude, personal demeanor, and demonstrated commitment to ensuring that his work is correct, Jeff's performance reflects great credit upon himself and the City of Auburn Parks and Recreation Department. Mr. Lee is indeed worthy of this award for his consistent efforts. Congratulations.
Okay, thank all those outstanding employees again, and thank our public affairs communication staff for putting those videos together and making all that happen, working with HR. And we're just very proud of all of our employees and thank all of them for what they're doing and continue to do each and every day. At this point in time, is there any other council members that would have an announcement or anything they would like to add right now? Okay, during the committee of the whole, we made 2 appointments to the BZA, Miss Emmy Sorrells and Mr. Drew Goodner, and we'll confirm that later on in the agenda. Do not know if there's anybody from Auburn University with us tonight. Is there? Do we have a representative from Auburn? I know they do not start the classes till next week.
Mayor, I don't believe we have one.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay. All right. At this time, it's an opportunity for citizens' communications on items on the agenda. Please remember, this is just items that are on our agenda here tonight. And we'd ask that you please give your name and address for the record. And remember, you have 5 minutes to speak to us. Anyone?
Mayor, if I may, I believe Kirsten, yes, there she goes. She had indicated earlier she wanted to speak, so
Okay.
here she goes.
Who do we have, Mr. Buston?
We have Kristen Malinkovich.
Okay. You got it. You're on, Kristen.
Hi, good evening. This is Kirsten Malinkovich. I live at 331 Yukon Drive. It's the Solomare subdivision, and I'm a member of our Solomare HOA board. And had questioned tonight about the 8F, the traffic signal agreement for proposed traffic signal at the intersection of Martin Luther King Highway 14 and Solomare Lane. And while we appreciate the possibility of a light to improve the safety of the ingress and egress to our neighborhood, we do have some questions and concerns about it. Because there is the proposal of a new Plainsman Lake community development next to ours with some roads connecting. So our concern or wanting to know is how this proposed light, how it will impact, number one, construction access to the different phases of Plainsman Lake community, and number two, will there still be a new permanent entrance to the new development from Highway 14? And how would that impact the connector, future connector road from Highway 14 to Richland Road? Do we know anything at this time about that?
Sure. Mr. Buston, how would you suggest we answer those questions?
I would suggest that Ms. Malinkovich get with our, probably our engineering department, but that's going to be down the road a little bit. What we're talking about tonight is simply the first step in getting the Alabama Department of Transportation to consider putting a traffic light there should that development take place. The Alabama Department of Transportation will not even consider design or anything like that until they have assurance from the council that we are willing to take over the maintenance of a light should they agree to put one there. So this is basically the very first step in this whole process. Eventually, after this step is done and Alabama Department of Transportation decides to put a light there, then the design process starts along with the development agreement that we still have to negotiate with the development. And that during that time, that's when most of those questions we'll be able to answer for Ms. Malinkovich.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
Mayor, that's the only person we have on the attendees list.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. We'll turn it over to City Manager's communications.
So this evening, we have two items on the city manager's communication. The first item is the Rebuild Alabama Act. This is a requirement of a yearly report to the city council on how we spent the gas tax funds that we received. So in your packet, you had a memorandum from Allison Frazier, our city engineer, which basically shows that in fiscal year 2020, we received $241,433.62. We had 5 qualifying projects that money could be spent on, totaling $1,051,645.04, which left us a surplus of debt or of what we had to pay over and above the $241,000 of $810,211.42. So this is just a report that's required by the state that we give to you, the council, that shows that we spent this money or will spend this money on qualified projects. Council have any questions on that?
Okay. Do we have a move for approval?
I have a question.
This
I have
just
a question.
Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. Hold on just one second, Connie. I will get right to you. So Jim, this is just a report. There's no vote or approval.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I apologize for that mistake. Go ahead, Connie.
Okay, on this, I was looking at some of the areas that qualified. Were they the only areas, or was there a minimum or a maximum amount of areas that qualified for this money?
No, all we had to show is that we met or exceeded the amount of money that we got for the gas tax, and show that these are the projects for which some or all of that money would be spent.
Jim, I can barely hear you. I can read what it's saying, but the words are a little slow. Now, can you sort of say that again? I don't know what it is, but I don't know if anybody else can or not, but I can barely hear you.
Okay, I will try to talk louder. Is that better?
That's a little better.
Allison Frazier, do you want to weigh in about the projects that qualify?
Yes, we submitted, I guess last year, a list of projects that were identified on the CIP that we could use the funds from the gas tax on. So this is just a few of those projects. I think the list that we submitted last year is actually a little bit longer, but they were basically projects developed already in the CIP.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Connie. Sorry for the confusion. Any other questions from the council? Okay. All right, Jim.
All right, the next item under city manager's communication is announcement of 2 vacancies on the West Pace Village Improvement District. We had 2 resignations from that board. The unexpired term, one of the unexpired terms begins immediately and ends September 15th, 2023. The other unexpired term begins immediately and ends September 15th, 2026. Council will appoint these positions at the February 2nd, 2021 council meeting. The next item we have on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item separately?
I do, Mr. Buston. Item F3, please.
Item F3.
3.
Anyone else?
Yes, please.
Item F1.
F1. Okay. F1. All right. Kelly, I think I heard you.
That's eight F1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
8F1.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
going to ask for the same one, so that's fine.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay, Jim.
All right, item F1 is a contract or is a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the Alabama Department of Transportation for a traffic signal on Martin Luther King Drive at Solimer Lane.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any comments or questions? We'll start with you, Connie.
Okay, my question is, and I don't have any problem with this, but I was just wondering, and I hope y'all can hear me pretty good. I was just wondering, how would this traffic light impact the traffic that's going to be coming off of Suge Jordan onto 14, going towards Solomere? It looked like to me it's going to be, if I'm envisioning it seems like it's going to be pretty congested right there if you put a traffic light there.
I'll let our city engineer answer that, Connie.
Okay.
Ellison.
Yes, and I was trying to pull up the distance. The distance from the Suge Jordan overpass to Solomere is probably half a mile or more. This light will be at the entrance to the Solomere subdivision. So it's approximately about 2,000 feet from Solomere to the Webster Road intersection, because there'll be an intervening road, but there should not be any issues with this signal affecting the traffic that's coming off of the ramp at Suge.
Okay, and I understand what you're saying, Allison, but the overpass, the overpass, and you come down onto 14, it's pretty, and I travel that area a lot. So traffic coming off of 14, the traffic gets jammed, sometimes can get really bagged up when they're coming off of Suge Jordan to get on to 14 going toward Lochapoka. So I guess in my mind, I'm just thinking that to stop traffic right there, you said it's a half a mile down the road or a mile down the road. How far down the road you say it is?
I think it's at least a half a mile.
Maybe I'm a little confused. So y'all don't think that's going to be an issue? I mean, if you don't, then hey.
We do not. I think that the traffic on 14 will continue, and that's one of the things the DOT will look at as they evaluate the agreement as well as the traffic impact study. If they think it's going to be a problem, they won't permit the signal. But we've looked at it and don't anticipate any issues.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Kelly, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Allison, you just mentioned an intervening road. Which road are you referring to?
That would be the road, our connector road.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
I didn't mean to mention that, but that will be the connector road. There'll be a connector road between Webster Road and Solomere Lane.
Okay, so there'll be
Not a part of this permit.
right. I understand. Yeah, and I have no problem with this moving forward on this agreement with the state. That's great. I'm just trying to answer some questions that have been called into me throughout the week. So if we do it, if eventually AlDOT approves a light at Solomir and Highway 14, we have that light. And I assume we'll have some kind of traffic control where the connector ties into 14. I just a guess, I assume you'd do another light at that point or something. I don't know if you've thought that far ahead or not, or.
Yes, we've done a traffic impact study for the connector road and looked at a warrant analysis.
Mhm.
And as the plans are developed, we will submit a very similar, almost exact package to AlDOT for permitting and
Okay,
another cooperative maintenance agreement to you.
okay. And on an earlier agenda item, previous council meeting, we talked about the Plainsman Lake development. And we looked at the possibility of them having a separate entrance from Plainsman Lake onto Highway 14. That would require them to cross a creek, I believe. And if I recall, we said that they would most likely have an exit onto the connector road and also be connected by way of Solomir to 14. Is that, you still thinking along those lines, or we're not looking at a third intersection along in there, are we?
We are not, and based on the most recent master plan, what you've just described is accurate. A connection to our new connector road and a connector to Solomir subdivision.
Okay, great.
They did consider an access onto 14, but that was not part of the master plan.
Okay, and the third question still is along those same lines. Do we have an idea yet where the construction entrance for the Plainsman Lake work is going to be?
We have not received any engineering plans yet, so I do not have a response to that.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions from the council? Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 8F3 is the purchase of 14 Chevrolet Tahoe police units, marked police units from Donahue Chevrolet for a cost of $473,148.06.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Tommy, you asked for this to be pulled. I'll call on you first.
I just wanted to thank the gym staff for allowing us to purchase, for bringing this before the council so we could purchase these vehicles. It's Tahoe is one of the best police vehicles ever made, and I think it's just a credit to our city council and our cities and our citizens that we try to outfit our police with the best we possibly can. It's one of the best made, and not only does it make it safer for the officer driving it, but also for sometimes we have to haul passengers back and forth to the county jail, and it makes it easier on them, more room in the back to sit with some of these smaller cars that are manufactured today. So I just really appreciate the council's support on this, and I think it's a great day for, once again, show how we support our police department.
Thank you, Chief. Any other comments or questions from the council? Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That motion carries.
Mayor, those are all the items we had removed from the consent agenda.
Okay, do I have a move to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the consent agenda.
Mayor, those are all the items we have on the agenda.
Okay. All right, with that being said, no ordinances or resolutions tonight. Now's an opportunity for the citizens open forum. If you'd like to speak to the council on anything, please raise your hand and Greg and Jim will let us know and we'll call on you. Remember, you have 3 minutes and please give us your name and address for the record.
Mayor, I don't believe we have anyone.
Okay, not seeing anyone, then we will, before we adjourn, I'd just like to remind everybody to please be safe and conduct yourself as appropriately as possible. And just remember, we're living in very dangerous times, frankly, right now. So please, thank you for everything you did during the holidays. I think everything went well here. And our next meeting will be Mr. Buston's final meeting with us. So we look forward to that on the 19th. Do I have a move to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned. Have a good week.
Thank you.